Hey YouTube, D101 here. I may have mentioned in a previous update I will start doing live reviews if I got like enough subscribers, and I would start doing those as a live stream of games I felt I wouldn't be able to do enough justice to in a regular 20-minute review because there's just so much good stuff jammed into them, and it wouldn't be fair to describe it to you as a genuine review. So live reviews would just be let's play formats with summary dark rating at the end. But that got me thinking about the opposite end of the spectrum, with games that have little context in them, not enough stuff I can make a 10 to 20 minute review out of. So that's why I've come up with a new idea, which is really short reviews I like to call rapid fire reviews. It's going to be quick, banging out just everything about the game I can in a couple of minutes, and with a dark rating at the end. And these aren't limited to games, by the way. These are just going to be games, TV shows, movies that I don't think I can do enough stuff in a 20-minute review about making it seem drawn out and just repetitive. So with that in mind, seeing as though we're starting with the God of War games, let's do God of War Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta in a double bill. Starting off with Chains of Olympus.
Olympus has sent a message, and I am here to deliver it.
God of War Chains of Olympus was the prequel to God of War, and originally a PSP game before it was ported for PS3 and God of War Collection 2, so right away we can see a definite and obvious step down in graphics from other God of War games. Given its origins though, we can forgive it for that. What is less easy to forgive, however, is the gameplay, as the PSP obviously has less buttons to work with, meaning the controls have been greatly simplified, and this also seems to make the game slightly easier, which in turn leads to dramatically cutting down the game's overall length. Now, in terms of story, Chains of Olympus is, like I said, a prequel to God of War. It sets Kratos in a time where he serves under the gods of Olympus. However, Kratos himself almost seems to be from God of War 2 rather than pre-God of War, considering that rather than being grieving over the death of his family at his own hands and benevolent to the gods for a chance to redeem himself of his sins and relieve himself of his past, he instead seems to be angry at everyone except himself for a past that was ultimately his fault, making his motivation of character seem rather confusing. The story of Chains of Olympus is that the sun has disappeared and its master Helios is missing, leaving Kratos to scour the underworld for the god of the sun, before Morpheus, that's the god of sleep, not...
You take the blue pill, the story ends.
Plunges the living world into eternal dreams. As Kratos searches for Helios, he finds the former prison of the Titan Atlas, who has been released from his chains. Taking the ferry to Dam to the fields of Elysium, Kratos finds Persephone, Hades' queen of the underworld and goddess of fucking flowers! She reveals to Kratos it was her who released Atlas and delivered Helios to him, so that the Titan, armed with the power of the sun itself in Helios, can bring the world above crashing down upon the underworld, ending the living world and in effect her life. This is of course a stupid way to commit suicide and get revenge, because she could have just told Kratos she was involved in the death of his wife and child, and Kratos would have killed her for free. But anyway, Kratos and Persephone battle, which of course results in Kratos killing her, and in true God of War style causes her to explode, dropping the world down to the shoulders of Atlas, which ends God of War Chains of Olympus. So yeah, that's Chains of Olympus, and it receives a dark rating of 41.
Is that nothing else?
The story is a little weak, the gameplay is too simplified, the difficulty too low, and the character of Kratos is rather confused in relation to the rest of the God of War franchise. Nothing we didn't already know about Kratos in the other games is explored, and nothing new or interesting is brought in to make up for it. All these elements of course make Chains of Olympus a subpar game at best, and a bad addition to the God of War franchise at worst. Now on to Ghost of Sparta.
I am coming for you, brother.
God of War Ghost of Sparta is the sequel to God of War and the prequel to God of War 2. Another PSP port to PS3, Ghost of Sparta has noticeably better graphics and gameplay, which is always a plus. The difficulty seems to have been fixed too for the most part, and the character of Kratos slots more naturally into the story arc of God of War, bitter and angry and still grieving, yet not totally the god-killing machine he will inevitably become. The story follows on from God of War, as Kratos has bizarre flashbacks of his childhood. Seeking out his mother in Atlantis before she dies, she sends her son to Sparta before being transformed into a monster after trying to reveal the identity of Kratos' father. Kratos leaves Atlantis after inadvertently sinking the city and returns to Sparta, where it's revealed about Kratos' brother Deimos. There was supposedly a prophecy about a marked warrior who would destroy Olympus and the gods believed to be Deimos due to his strange birthmarks. Ares and Athene attempts to capture the boy, and Kratos gives himself his signature red tattoos as a sign of respect for his lost brother. What is interesting about this is that this isn't the first time this was mentioned in God of War. In the bonuses for the original God of War game, there was a small movie about Kratos losing his younger brother, though in this mini-movie it was simply because that's how Sparta works and not the gods took him. Kratos then travels again to the underworld and rescues Deimos. The younger brother resents Kratos for not rescuing him sooner and attacks, but stops when Thanatos, god of fucking death itself, intervenes. The two brothers fight to defeat the god, but ultimately Kratos cannot save Deimos. He buries his younger brother and returns to Olympus, outraged at what the gods have done to his family, thus ending Ghost of Sparta. All in all, Ghost of Sparta is a significantly better game than Chains of Olympus, and as such, it receives a dark rating of 78.
You are free now, brother.
What makes this significantly better than Chains of Olympus is that it brings something new forward to us. It doesn't repeat the same old stuff we learnt in the original God of War game. We learn more about Kratos' past, we learn more about his family, and it is an entirely new chapter to the God of War story, which is always a fucking plus in my opinion. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a rapid fire review. Hope you guys enjoy. If you're having more suggestions for reviews, even rapid fire reviews, just submit them in the comment section below, Twitter, Google+, all that jazz. I will have a look, see what sort of stuff it has, and I will deem if it deserves a proper Darkest 101 review or a rapid fire review. Depends what mood I'm in, I guess. And also working on the God of War 3 review after this is uploaded, so look forward to that.